live. It comes live. Is it live?
It's live, sir.
Okay. Hi, I'm Raj Jaswa, and I'm a visiting professor at IIT Bombay, IIT Gandhinagar, and at VNIT in Nagpur. And I've been teaching entrepreneurship for the last 2 years. Prior to that, I've been in the US for about 40 years. And the last 25 years, I have been a serial entrepreneur with multiple companies that I've started and even taken public. So I got invited to teach entrepreneurship at the IITs and my alma mater. And I said, let me try and really teach the kind of entrepreneurship that results in successful companies happening in India. So let me share with you my insights over the last 2 years as to how entrepreneurship can flower and flourish in India. So India and most developing countries are in a unique situation today. Their economies have only been partially industrialized. Agriculture and traditional rural economy still dominates. Higher education and even literacy is not universally accessible. But the digital infrastructure of the most developed nation in the world is being rapidly established in these developing countries, especially in India. All the standard visible artifacts of an advanced economy are widely accessible in India. Whether it is smartphones, broadband internet access, cloud services, 3G, 4G, as well as access to almost all the digital media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Google Search, Amazon, and more. Plus, Indian software engineers are at the cutting edge of software development, since large portions of these platforms have been developed by Indian outsourcing shops or Indian NRIs worldwide. In fact, I would say that most of the open source software is actually being contributed to by Indians everywhere. In fact, Indians are the drivers of the digital revolution worldwide. The consequences of the digital haves and have-nots, however, can have a tragic consequence for the mainstream Indian economy. For example, Uber and Ola cabs skim off the top 10% of the premium profitable taxi travel with only a few thousand Uber and Ola cabs in Mumbai. However, Mumbai is home to over 250,000 taxi cabs and 250,000 auto rickshaws. But the loss of this premium business threatens the subsistence levels of the entire taxi service market. The reaction of the taxi industry with strikes, morchas, and beating up Uber drivers and destroying their cars is indeed sad to see. But with 2020 hindsight of what has happened in the US and European cities, the inexorable economics of the digital revolution driven by new business models, the taxi industry is indeed fighting a hopeless battle. We will see the same phenomena repeat itself in one traditional sector of the Indian economy after the next. For example, e-commerce has flattened out large swaths of the US retail business in electronics, clothing, food, auto, and more. In anticipation of such a transition happening in India, e-commerce startups like Flipkart, Snapdeal, and Amazon.in are growing at exponential rates, and they are the darling of the VC community. And as consumers discover the benefits of online shopping, home delivery, and rampant discounting, these e-commerce companies benefit from economies of scale as their addressable market consists of the entire population of India, while the local store owner can only sell to the houses in the neighborhood. Today, the Indian retail sector consists of mom and pop stores of all kinds of goods and services replicated that provide everything that is needed by the walkable neighborhood, which is their total available market. But everyone lives in essentially sustenance mode. Nobody makes too much money, but nobody starves either. Whether you're in a small town, a mid-sized town, or a suburb of a metropolitan town like Mumbai, this model is replicated. This model has been optimized over hundreds of years and consequently has been commoditized to its most efficient state. The advent of digital India and smart cities changes everything for this age-old economic model. All goods and services can now be delivered to each home in India, except more cheaply and with more choice and quality. This fundamentally destroys the value proposition of the traditional Indian retail economy. Retail India cannot compete with the digital e-commerce vendors in price, quality, choice, delivery, or service. Today, only the premium segment of consumers use this service, since smartphones with mobile internet access has only penetrated 3% of the population, about 50 million smartphones. However, in 5 years, smartphones are expected to reach 500 million users, and mainstream middle and low middle class users will, for the first time, leverage it for their retail purchases. This will effectively bring India's traditional retail industry to its knees. Similar extrapolations need to be made by the Indian entrepreneur to visualize the future for entertainment, politics, education, transportation, and more. We have the benefit of 2020 hindsight, since US and European economies are 8 to 10 years ahead of India's, while the Chinese economy is 3 to 5 years ahead. It is easy to see for the Indian entrepreneur to study which business model succeeded, and more importantly, which failed and why. Then project these lessons to the Indian economy. And most of the successful first generation internet startups in India and China are copycats of US internet successes like Naukri.com, Shadi.com, Baidu, WeChat, Reddit. Today's internet successes like Flipkart, Housing.com, Snapdeal, Alibaba are also copycats of US successes. For these entrepreneurial successes, the innovation is not in the basic business model, but in the innovative localization and adaptation to government regulations and idiosyncrasies. Given this landscape, where are the opportunities for entrepreneurs in digital India? I see opportunities in 4 categories. Category 1, clearly, there are lots of opportunities in emulating what the first and second generation of Indian entrepreneurs have done. Copy US startups with innovative localization. There will be many super successes in this category. The VC industry in India, which is heavily dominated by US VC firms, are very comfortable with investments in this category and will invest heavily in the copycat entrepreneurs to make them super successful. Category 2, Indian entrepreneurs have an opportunity of applying successful US business models to new segments of the Indian economy. The Uber and Airbnb on-demand sharing business models can be applied to put many shareable resources in India to efficient use. For example, see how Hire My Machines entrepreneur Girish Jaggi has Uberized heavy equipment in less than 2 years. Jaggi has aggregated over 3,000 heavy machines and has built a thriving digital business. Similar opportunities exist in all kinds of segments of the Indian economy. Category 3, the enablement of long-tail businesses by the reach of e-commerce platforms. One of the probably unintended and probably less understood benefits of the widespread reach of e-commerce platforms such as Amazon and Flipkart is that businesses that target very, very narrow niches of customers distributed all over India can be cost-effectively targeted. With 500 million consumers in 5 years who will have the ability to search for their unique needs, very small niche products will also result in successful entrepreneurial startups. For example, Pratik Doshi's Cheeky Chunk company has successfully created a very profitable multi-million rupee designer umbrella business in 2 short years. Today on the Amazon platform, Cheeky Chunk has 4 of the top 10 umbrellas in Amazon on page 1. This has allowed Cheeky Chunk to reach niche customers in small towns all over India. Similarly, innumerable long-tail markets exist. and creative entrepreneurs now have the platforms to reach them with viable, scalable, profitable business models. Category 4, empowering the traditional economy with tools of the digital economy to create a unique Indian version of the digital economy. For example, in San Francisco, Rakesh Mathur from IIT Bombay now runs a company called Flywheel that empowers all taxi drivers with an Uber equivalent on-demand taxi ordering and electronic payment system. This has been very well received by the San Francisco Taxi Association, and now many cities like New York and Chicago are racing to empower the taxi drivers to compete with Uber's ease of use. If Indian entrepreneurs develop equivalent digital tools for the Indian taxi, auto, and transportation sector, these sectors can continue to be competitive. Indian entrepreneurs can work on empowering major segments of the traditional economy with tools of Digital India before foreign business models destroy them. These tools can give consumers all the benefits of the digital economy, such as choice, cost, personal delivery, and high service quality. This would enable the traditional retail industry to be on a competitive footing with the foreign e-commerce giants and their copycats. India, I believe, has the opportunity to develop its own unique digital economy that provides the efficiencies and the benefits of digitalization without destroying the traditional economy. It will require a lot of entrepreneurs to do it, but if successful, Digital India will become the model for all developing countries. So on that positive note, I encourage all of you to look at entrepreneurship as a career alternative and do things that will make India the model for all developing countries. Thank you very much.